Oh, yes, there we are, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of my Monday Night Live podcast. It's Monday night. We're live. It's the Monday, the 26th of February. I can't speak English anymore. It's 9 p.m. Every Monday. Every Monday at 9 p.m. We're live on YouTube. Hello. And if you're listening to this after, then hello to you too, because most of you actually listen or watch this after it's gone out live. You should join me live, like all the wonderful people who are here right now, like Amélie Bor is in the house, Cal Dash is here, Bratislavat, Émilie Coulon, Mathilde, Anton Benedict Tria, Florian Beaufreton, editing legend. He's also got his own podcast. You should go listen to it. So yeah, how are you? Welcome back. I've had a couple of weeks off, and am I not refreshed? I can't be asked. Oh, Jesus Christ! Listen, Misha Luna, how angry am I on a scale of 1 to 10? Listen, Misha, I'm not angry. I'm a mixture of angry and, how would you sum up the emotion of can't be asked? I cannot be asked. I can't be fucked. Give me an emotion that equivalates. That's not even English. To the feeling of you just can't be asked. It's a mixture of anger and that. Depression. Is that right? I don't know. Complacency? Maybe. I don't know. Red Becky, you've changed your little logo, Red Becky. Nonchalance? A little bit. Live from chez lui after a couple of weeks off. Bored, Red Becky? No. I don't know. Listen, I think I'm going to add a new segment to this podcast, and it's going to be called Everything is Shit, Change My Mind. That is the thing, because every week there'll be something else that I think is shit, and then I want you to change my mind. I don't want to feel like this. I don't want to feel annoyed. I don't want to feel angry. I don't want to feel disappointed. I just want to be happy. Can somebody just make me happy? So the new title of the segment is Everything is Shit, Change My Mind. And what I want you to change my mind on this week is beach holidays. I think beach holidays are shit. Change my mind. Specifically, in my case, the last 2 weeks, I was in Thailand and it was shit. Change my mind. Both beach holidays and Thailand were shit. Change my mind. Let me pose you my argument. That's not even English. Let me put forward my argument, and then I want you to change my mind, right? Now, beach holidays in general, for me, are shit for a couple of reasons. One, basically, my skin tone. I'm not made for the beach. My body doesn't work in the heat of the beach, okay? I fucking hate the beach because often you get to the beach, there's nowhere in the shade to be unless you rent like a fucking parasol. You don't fly on an aeroplane with your own parasol. You go to the beach. My skin's not made for it, so I have to put sun cream on it. But the sun cream doesn't help against the temperature. In Thailand, it was like 40 degrees, right, with the humidity. It was horrific. So as soon as I walked out, sun cream starts dripping in my eyes because I'm sweating. So now my eyes are stinging because I don't have my glasses. I'm wearing contact lenses because I've got some sunglasses, right? So I'm wearing the sunglasses. I've got my contact lenses in. The skin, the fucking sun cream is dripping into my eyes. It's burning my eyes. And on top of that, you try and go to a beach, there's sand everywhere, the sand gets everywhere, it sticks to you, salt water makes your skin all disgusting. If there's no shower, it's just, oh God, I hate the beach. I fucking hate the beach. Luckily, the hotel had a swimming pool in it, right? But in any case, Thailand, it was just like, where we went, first of all, we realized on the plane out to Thailand that the people that were going to be on holiday with us were, I don't even know how you say it in English, but des beaufs, les beaux frères, les beaufs, like just des beaufs ou des racailles, right? That basically it was either chavs or like redneck bogan type, whatever you call them in English. Oh God, especially the French people. Oh my God, the population of people in the aeroplane specifically from France to Thailand. I was like, oh my God, what are we doing here? It was like hanging out in our neighborhood in the east of Paris, but just in Thailand. Oh God, there were too many tourists. Here are the two things that were positive. The Thai people are unbelievable. They're so friendly. They're so nice. They love kids. They were so nice. Some of the nicest people I've ever met in my life. Number two, it is picturesque. The place is beautiful. However, the beaches are shit because you can't go in the water because there are jellyfish everywhere. We tried going to a beach. My daughter was in there for 2 minutes. She got stung by a jellyfish. So we never went into the water. It was ridiculous. You're going on these like tours of islands, these beautiful islands, right? And you can't go in the water. I'm sweating my bollocks off. I can't get in the water to cool down because there are jellyfish. So you're like, all right. And these aren't small jellyfish either. I'm going to show you a picture of the beach. One of the beaches that we were at, or that we attempted. This was a beach. I think it was in front of the hotel. And this is the size of the jellyfish, dead jellyfish. The beaches were just full of dead jellyfishes. Dead jellyfishes? Is that the plural of jellyfish? Oh, God. So we couldn't get in the water. It's just like, what's the point in going 16 hours away to a place where you've got beautiful beaches that you can't get in the water because the shit's going to sting you? It was it was fucking pointless. Just stay in Europe, go to Corsica, go to Italy, go to Spain. The beaches are beautiful and there's not a lot of jellyfish. So anyway, changed my mind. I want my mind to be changed, please. I can't. You need to change my mind, right? We Celts are not made for sunshine. Keith McMillan, thanks very much. Were you on vacation? I waited desperately for 2 weeks. Yes, I was, Alexandre, again. It wasn't a vacation because we vacated this house. We disappeared, but we weren't happy. Rosa, I agree with you. Beach holiday is shit. I need you to change my mind. What about food? Rice, mango, dessert, yum. Yes. Raquel, the food was delicious. Great. But I wasn't in a good mood enough to appreciate it because it was fucking boiling. So we're out in like a street market situation, which is already a touristy thing to do. And it was so hot that eating spicy food it makes you even worse. Plus, I was drinking alcohol because I couldn't deal with it anymore. So my wife and I got basically shit-faced. Me and my wife, ironically, because we both hated it, we both really came together and we had some great holiday time, the three of us. The family... what do you call it? What's that called? The family unit became stronger. Louise loved it. She had a great time doing some kids club shit. She loved the swimming pool. She's learning to swim. She loved all of it. Foam parties in the swimming pool. It was great. But yeah, me and my wife basically had frozen passion fruit margaritas at the pool to stay cool, basically. Also, my wife had her period for 6 days. She was incapable of going in the water because my wife has, I'm not going to get into the detail. She's got a disease. It's not endometriosis. It's the other one. And I can't even pronounce it in English. Look it up. It's not endometriosis. It's the other one where basically you're flooding for 6 days. So she couldn't go in the pool. So she was done. 6 out of the 10 days, she was out of operations. So was just drinking frozen margaritas by the swimming pool. I feel like such an asshole complaining about holidays in Thailand. But listen, they just didn't, it wasn't great. It was just, apparently, sun cream is really bad for you. Okay, Anton Benedict, man, tropical countries are a nightmare for you, Paul. Yeah, I think they're a nightmare for everyone. That's why none of them are, because I came to the conclusion that no one can do any work in these countries. And they don't, right? They're some of the poorest countries on the planet. around the tropics because it's so hot. You can't do any work. How can you get any work done in any of these places? It's just, there's a reason why the richest countries in the world are cold. All of the Northern European countries, Scandinavia, Switzerland, right? They're richest countries in the world because they're fucking cold. They've got nothing else to do but to work. Oh, God. Wow. I want people to tell me why they enjoy the beach. Tell me why you enjoy it. Misha Luna, contact lenses in a place with sand, salt, and sunscreen. You like to live dangerously. Yeah, or I just like to survive. That's the only thing I can do. Sounds like a waste of money. It was, to be honest. You should have come to England and sat in the cold rain for 2 weeks. No, listen. It was fun to be not cold for a bit, because in Paris it's cold. What's the temperature today? 6 degrees. About 38 degrees less than it was a couple of days ago. Oh God. I can't deal with it. What have we got? Small J podcast sponsorisé par l'Office du tourisme thaïlandais. Listen. The people are great. The country's beautiful. It's just the tourists there are not the type of people that you want to hang out with. And it's just, I'm not made for the beach. That's it. I'm not going to beaches anymore. I can't do it. Except for Corsica, because I have to. Because my wife will make... Here's the thing. A couple of years ago, my wife and I went to Corsica with our daughter for a week's holiday. And I made sure to find a house with a swimming pool in it. And so I just stayed in the house in the swimming pool while my daughter and wife went to the beach and had their fun stuff. I don't know how people deal with sand. How do you enjoy being at a beach when sand is everywhere? And it sticks to you and you can't get it off, and your phone and your hands and the sun. I don't understand it. Olivier, stay positive. You can run on the beach to train for your marathon. No, I couldn't because it was too hot. So I had to train in the gym of the hotel, which I managed to do, to be honest. Those of you who haven't been following, I'm training for the marathon, the Olympic marathon in Paris this August, on the 10th of August. And I'll be honest, I skipped 1 week. I did 1 week of running in Thailand in the hotel gym. It was too hot though. They didn't even have proper air conditioning in the gym. So it was sweating. And running on a treadmill is not fun. I was like, you know what? I'll run on the beach that's in front of the hotel. Even at 7 a.m, it was like 32 degrees. I'm like, no, I can't do it. So I took a week off running. I went back running this morning though, in the pissing rain of Paris, which was joyful. It was great. Sandra, I also hate the heat. However, just spent a week in Amsterdam. It rained every day. My husband and I both came home with COVID. Okay. Never mind. You should have gone to the Caribbean at the time of the year. It's full of Canadians and Quebecois. Here's the thing. I think when you go on holiday, you just end up finding the people that you don't want to... You escape the people... You go, I'm out of Paris. I'm not going to have to deal with Parisians anymore. You know what? You know who else is on holiday? All the Parisians, because it's the school holidays. So that's who we ended up being in a plane with, in the market with, in restaurants with, on an island tour with. We did meet, actually, two English couples, who one of them were from Preston up north, and Birmingham, and they were really nice actually. We went on a boat trip that was kind of organised by the hotel, where we visited a bunch of different islands, which was, the most beautiful part of the trip, but the most frustrating part of the trip, because we went to these beautiful islands. Let me show you a picture just of I can't remember the name of the islands. But it wasn't the Koh Phi Phi, like the beach island situation. It was, Hong Island was one of them. I think it was called Hong. Yeah, I think it's called Hong Island. I'm trying to find a picture of the island without my wife and daughter in it. Right, so this was the idyllic beach. It was great. And there weren't too many tourists around there, but that's what it looked like. And first of all, on the beach was also a fucking dragon, some sort of lizard dragon situation. Look at the state of that. He was just walking around. I thought it was a dragon. It's, I looked it up. It's some sort of lizard. I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, scary as fuck. So that was on the beach. That was on the beach, on the sand, in the fucking water, was these bastards here. Jellyfish, just jellyfish everywhere. Look at the size of these jellyfish as well. They're massive. So we couldn't go swimming, and we couldn't sit on the beach because there was a dragon with a tongue that's longer than his tail coming to get us. Ah. Hey, tabarnak. Anyway. Bratislava, you spent 2 weeks in Thailand, and right after you complained so much, that's so French, you're definitely one of us. I think I've become very French. I think if I do a show, my next stand-up show is going to be called Fuck Me, I'm French. As in the David Guetta, fuck me, I'm famous phrase on a t-shirt, but fuck me, I'm French. We'll see. Surfing is why I enjoy the beach. Bridget, yes! That is one thing that I do enjoy, is surfing. However, my wife and I are always, it never works because she hates surfing, and most beaches that you go to that have surfing, you can't really swim in them because the waves are so strong and the current is so strong, or it's too cold. As an example, Portugal. My wife and I don't know, 12 years ago, went to Portugal for a summer holiday, and she hated it. We did like one surfing lesson together, which she enjoyed. But the rest of the time she hated it. It was too cold because it's on the Atlantic, which is why there are big waves. Basically, if there are big waves hitting your beach, it means you're at an ocean. And if you're at an ocean, it means it's fucking cold. And she's used to Corsican Mediterranean beaches. So, Aoife, there's nothing positive about the beach. Yeah. Next time I try the mountains, Paul Placeway. I really wanted to go skiing this year, as I think your helmet, I think your profile picture is of you skiing. Why didn't we do that? Oh, because we had the Thailand trip booked. The reason why we went to Thailand was because I did a show there last year in May, and we were supposed to go for 10 days before my show, like we did to Mauritius. When I did my show there, which Mauritius was another beach. But the problem with Mauritius, it rained. The thing is, even if you're at the beach and it rains, it's not fun either. So you can just not the beach. Do you know what I mean? The mountain, why didn't we go? Yeah, the problem is my wife hates the mountain. She hates the cold. She hates going, we're just not made to have holidays together, I think. Do you know what I mean? Il faut aller où il n'y a pas beaucoup de touristes. Je suis allé à une île appelée Krabi. Alors, Krabi is not an island. It's exactly where we went to. We went to Krabi. It's not an island. It's a part that's not touristy. It was still full of tourists. Tu peux nager tranquillement. Il y a des lagons magnifiques. No. We tried. Tourists and jellyfish. I don't know when you went, but we went and it was packed. It wasn't that packed, to be honest. Shower at the beach, that's how you do it. Raquel, if there was a shower at the beach, I wouldn't be complaining. But there was no shower at the fucking beach. It depends on the beach. I agree with you, Gio. I'm beaching about the beach. I went to a ventilated, well-maintained, clean beaches, and it was awesome. Malta, Greece, Florida. Anyway, I'm fair-skinned too. Waterproof sunscreen is the way to go. Yeah, it's still... Here's the thing. The problem is, it depends. When you have a kid, you're forced to go at the school holidays. I mean, you can go when it's not the school holidays, but you're always going to find someone, you know, I don't know. We could have gone 2 weeks before or 2 weeks afterwards, in fairness. But Thailand, it's not the school holidays in Thailand, but, you know, you've got the people from the UK that were there. There was a lot of northern country people there, Dutch, Norwegian, Scandinavian people in general. The problem is usually the beaches that are well ventilated, I don't even know what a well ventilated beach means, where there's lots of wind, I guess, clean and whatever, they're usually rammed full of people if it's like in the middle of the season that you're supposed to be going. Oh, God. Oh. Anyway, I'm done. I'm done talking about the beach. No one's convinced me otherwise. Everyone seems to be agreeing with me. Come on. The only thing worse than a sandy beach is a pebble beach. Fucking pointless and like trying to relax on Lego. Ollie! Oh, that is great. Oh, Sasha, Hawaii is pretty great. Almost 20 to... I tell you what, Sasha, me and my wife both agreed that the only two places that we've enjoyed going where there are beaches and it was worth it was Hawaii and Corsica. Corsica, much closer, an hour and a half, 2 hour flight, you're there. Hawaii, we were lucky enough to get invited to a friend's wedding in Hawaii 11 years ago. And it was some of the best holidays we ever went to. The beaches were not jellyfished and they were not full either because we went in the month of May. I think it was May. It might have been May. I think it was May 2013 was exactly when we went. Amazing. Loved it. And because I used to watch Lost, geek. Like, my wife and I, we enjoy... That's the only show that we've watched until the end is Lost. And we went and visited all the beaches where they filmed Lost. So that was great. And Corsica just because it's close. There you go. Trying to find a photo from a beach in Hawaii. Yeah, I mean, look at that. I mean... Yeah, it was nice. All right, let's change the subject. Jeremy, what kind of beer am I drinking? I'm drinking a non-alcoholic Brooklyn Special Effects. My favorite non-alcoholic. It's not sponsored by them. I wish it fucking was. Some of my favorite beers. All right, you didn't... yeah, I drank a lot while we were away, and so I'm back on the non-alcoholic for a long time. Because I'm training for a marathon. Do you know what I mean? A monitor lizard. Correct, Red Becky. That was the name of that bad boy lizard dragon thing. My daughter called it a dragon, so it was funny to call it a dragon. What else have we got? What else have we got? Paul says, yes, I am a skier. February has been garbage, way too warm. That's the other thing. You know, you go to the beach and you're disappointed if it rains. It did rain a couple of days in Thailand there, which we were happy about. But you also are really disappointed if you book skiing. And skiing is so expensive. And then you go there and it's either, if there's not enough snow or it just snows the entire time and there's zero visibility. You're like, oh, why did I pay 2,000 euros to come here? Oh, God. I need suggestions of when my next holiday should be. Oh, Jay Swanson. Jay Swanson's in the house, ladies and gentlemen. There he is. I don't know what you're talking about in terms of hiking, but mate, yeah, you were in Thailand the week before I was there. We crossed paths at the airport, almost in Bangkok. I arrived about 3 hours before you took your plane back. And yeah, Thailand, mate. Do you know what I mean? We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. What else have we got? Maybe you're still jet lagged. You know what? Weirdly enough, going out there, the jet lag was really bad. It took me like 3 days to get over it. I was waking up in the middle of the night. It was horrific. Oh, God, it was horrible. On the way back here, totally fine. 4815, 1623, it's 2342. Are those the numbers from Lost? I don't remember there being a 1516, but anyway, fucking loved Lost. Right, Trixie Bell, when you coming back to the UK? Unless you're fed up with us, of course, Trixie. I don't know is my honest answer, and I don't know when I'm getting back on stage. That is a lie. I know exactly when I'm getting back on stage. It's in a few days in Lille. If you live in Lille, I'm doing a show in English. It's like an English comedy night that happens in Lille once a month, organised by a friend of mine called Neil. Neil from Lille. Hey! And so I'm doing, I don't know, about 20 minutes of some English comedy in Lille on Thursday. So there you go. If you live in Lille, come and see the show. If you don't live in Lille, come and see it anyway. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing, Trixie. I don't know what my future is. What I have to do, and I really can't be asked, I have to watch my recent show, Bisous Bye, this one that's on the poster on the wall here, that I finished in January. We filmed it in December. I need to watch it. I need to watch both shows. We filmed both shows because I need to decide which bits of what show or which show we keep and which show we throw in the bin. And then it needs to be edited, subtitled, color corrected, sound mixed, cut up into clips, blah, blah. I can't be bothered. So that's got to come out online at some point. I mean, it's already March, so it should have been out already. Oh, God. It'll be out in April or May or June, or it might never come out. Who knows? And so the reason I was bringing that up is in that show I talk about the reason I'm done doing bilingual shows is I want to work on English-only shows, but I don't even want to do that anymore. I don't want to do anything. I didn't even want to do this tonight. I didn't even want to come and speak to you guys tonight. I couldn't be bothered. I was like, kill me now. But I'm here because this is a commitment that I've made every Monday at 9 p.m. is to come and talk to 130 of you watching live and about 3,000 watching after the live and about 300 listening to it on the podcast apps. So anyway, when am I coming to the UK? No idea. But if you follow me on social media, then I will obviously announce anything interesting that's happening. That's where I announce stuff, is social media, when I have like individual little gigs. I will announce other things properly, probably first through my mailing list, which I've decided is a thing that I probably need to do and work on my website, is to be able to email you guys rather than put a thing on Instagram and then you never see it. Whereas by email, you're more likely to see a thing and it just be like, hey, everyone, email, here you go. Because when you buy tickets for my shows through Ticketmaster or Fnac or Billet-Duc, they get your information. They get your email addresses. And the problem is then they spam you full of shit of other shows that you don't want to go and watch. Or maybe you do. But usually it's like, oh, here's what's happening this month. And you're like, I don't care. Take me off this fucking mailing list. Whereas we don't get any of, there's no way of us connecting with you guys apart from through email. We've got the algorithms. Shut up, Paul. Stop. Move on. Florian Beaufreton says you should move to Montreal already. Holidays in the cabins for the winter. Awesome summer. Bilingual. Florian, mate, the thought has crossed my mind. But we need to get the visa. Yeah, Montreal will be good. It's just too far away for my mum. You know, it's unmanageable. We would see it like once. I love going back to Montreal. The summer's great. Yeah, it is. I mean, you can go to. I mean, you're kind of. You have access to a bunch of. Yeah, Montreal's great. I'd love to go and move there, but I wouldn't. I don't know. Would I want? I don't know. I don't know is the answer. Which venue in Lille? It's the Spotlight, Le Spotlight, which is a small theatre of about 180 people. Red Becky, are you writing new material? No. I'm not in a funny mood. I'm not happy. I'm not finding anything funny right now. That's a lie. I've written some stuff down. Yeah, it's none of it's funny right now. But anyway. No, I don't know what I'm doing, Red Becky. I just need more time off, basically, to figure out what I'm doing. I'm focused on my marathon, which is good. The Olympics are coming, and I feel like there's something that I should do for the Olympics. I don't know what it is yet, but I feel like I should not miss the opportunity to do something fun for the Olympics, whether it's shows in Paris on a more regular basis, whether it's live stuff. I don't know. I don't know is the answer to every one of your questions. Ollie P, as the Apple fan you are, have you been tempted to get the Vision Pro? Obviously choosing that over feeding your family at Apple prices. Oh God, no, I've not. For those of you who've been living in a cave or don't really care about technology, Apple have released their own version of a, what should we call it? What do they call it? They call it, it's not VR, AR, augmented reality headset. No, I would have two uses for it. One is in an aeroplane, putting it on and watching a film as if it was the size of my screen. Number two is instead of having my big screen here and my laptop, I could work remotely and have a big screen in front of my face. And aside from that, there's nothing else that I'd really use it for. Because it's like the original iPhone, which I have sitting over there somewhere. The original iPhone, I mean, everyone had the use for a phone, but it was so expensive that you were like, why am I even buying this? But it changed everything in terms of what mobile phones were. And they all still look like the original iPhone. The apps are still square. You have apps. It changed the whole thing. And I think the Vision Pro is going to do the same thing for that kind of... it's going to change the way we work and it's going to change the way we live. Just not yet. It's going to take all of those early adopters to find use cases for it. It's going to take the app developers to develop cool stuff with their apps, which uses it. And then once that happens and it reduces in cost and it's smaller and less heavy to wear, it's gonna be crazy. Just like the iPhone was, just like the iPad was, just like iPods were, just like every new, like, what do you call those? Like plasma TVs, microwaves. It's gonna be another one of those, I think. Or that's what everyone's talking about. So yeah. Red Becky says I should take up gardening. Maybe I will. Are you still on Twitter? Yeah, technically, but I don't do anything on it. I mean, I've still got my account. I just don't post to Twitter. I mean, I haven't posted to anywhere in the last, how long? In the last 44 days, as 45 days, as my Facebook manager app likes to remind me, you haven't posted to Facebook in 45 days. Posting regularly helps you connect with people who follow Paul Taylor. I haven't posted to Instagram in 45 days. The last post was Zenit. We did it. Thanks very much. Goodbye. I've posted a couple of stories since, but apart from that, nothing. Oh, Rolly Asal is in the house. Hey, you know, viens Montréal, please. Trixie, there's plenty of funny material if you use UK politics as a base. I know, but there's too many good comedians that do political stuff. I'm not political. I don't know enough about it. I don't know enough about it. Spatial computing, Florian Beaufreton has mentioned about Apple. Yeah, that's what it was. Do you like to go to the Philippines or Brazil? I mean, yes and no, to be honest with you. Like, at this point, yes, because apparently it's beautiful. But also, if I go there, you know, you go there and you end up doing the touristy stuff because you have to. It's not that you have to. It's like you go... It's like if you're American and you come to Paris and you don't see the Eiffel Tower. It's kind of weird, right? I don't think anyone, I mean, there's obviously people that have done that, but I feel also those people are twats as well. Because those people are like, oh, we went to Paris and we didn't do the touristy things. This is another discussion that my wife and I had about people going to places like Thailand, being like, oh, we want to go out in the sticks and have like an authentic experience. You're like, what are you talking about? What authentic experience? Because by what we saw, the authentic experience, if you want to live like a Thai person, you shop at a 7-Eleven and you eat at a KFC. They're not going to a night market and eating street food, right? They're going to a KFC because it's cheaper. And they're going to shops at a 7-Eleven. So what is the authentic experience that you want when you go to another country? I feel, and the conclusion that we came to is if you come listen, there's two types of countries in the world, unfortunately. There are countries that exploit other countries to do their stuff, and there are countries that are exploited by the other countries, right? And if you come from a country that exploits other countries, i.e. Western Europe, and you go to a country that is being exploited by your country, it feels disingenuous to go for an authentic. What is an authentic experience? Like if you're going to a place like Thailand or Cambodia or Indonesia or Mauritius or Africa, if you're going to any of these places, like what are you looking for when you go, oh, I don't want to do the touristy stuff, I want to have an authentic experience? Because if that means going to live like a person from there, then that's weird, because you go to a 7-Eleven and go to KFC. And if you want the authentic, it kind of feels like I don't know, if there's something weird about it. So you go there and you follow the kind of tourist stuff that you do, because you go, okay, why do you want to go to a place like Bali in the first place? It's got because you see the beautiful beaches. Or why are you going to Japan? Japan's a different one because it's a developed country. So it's a little bit different. But when you come from a developed country and you're going to a developing country, it feels weird. It feels like you're being like it feels like, oh, let's look down at all these poor people and see how they're really living and go and live with. It doesn't feel right. So you go there. I don't know. There was something. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if I'm making sense. I'm just talking shit. Pokraj, I hate it when white people go to Mumbai slums and act like they understand simplicity. Right, okay, so thank you. That is kind of what we were getting to when we were in Thailand, because we spoke to some people, some friends before we went to Thailand, who complained about the fact that when you go to Thailand, it's very difficult to not do the touristy stuff. Like they make you do the touristy stuff, and it's difficult to get out of the touristy thing. And we understood what she meant, because out there, it's like, yeah, if you want to go and visit the beautiful islands that they have, you have to take one of the touristy boats. Now, do you take the nice speedboat from the hotel that's organized, or do you take the more traditional wooden boat it's the same thing? Like what's authentic? You're going to a part of the country, these beautiful islands that the locals don't even go to, because it's only for tourists. But that's the postcard thing. So it's like, what are you looking for when you're wanting an authentic? You can be Spanish, or you can be from Spain and come to France and have the authentic experience in Paris, right? I think within developed countries, you can have that authentic experience. You go to the US and you want that authentic experience. You don't want to go to New York and the Statue of Liberty. You want to go to the cafe in New York that the New Yorkers go to. That works, right? But I feel like when you're coming from an exploiting country to the exploited country, it feels disingenuous. Does that make sense? I don't know. Bratislava. Paul, did you see the last season of LOL Kirisora? I have never seen any of the seasons of whatever that show is called in English, LOL Kirisora. It's an Amazon Prime show that's everywhere, in every country. And it's probably Last One Laughing or something like that. I don't know. Laugh, lol. It's called LOL something. No, I haven't seen any of the episodes of that because I don't know. It just annoys me. Tourist traps are a thing. Yeah. So there's obviously there's for me there's the genuine experience, which doesn't exist. If you're a white person from a rich country and you're going to a poor country, there isn't an authentic experience that you can have. And if you are, you're a prick, I think, because it's like, oh, you're for 2 days, you're going to go live and understand their life, but then you're going to come back to Paris or London or wherever you live, and you're going to be annoyed after 5 minutes in the metro being like, oh, fucking blah, 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 and you're going to complain about your life, your great life in your rich country. So it doesn't feel, so there's that. There's the authentic experiences, there's the tourist experience, and then there's the tourist traps where you get screwed over as a tourist. And you know what? I came to the conclusion that I was like, you know what? I don't mind getting screwed over as a tourist, especially in a country that is being exploited by my country, if you know what I mean, or my countries. if if I go to Thailand and it's like, oh, I'm not gonna squabble over €5, the equivalent of a taxi driver, or if the taxi driver's charging me the equivalent of €5 more, I'm like, mate, like, have the €5, like, please. My country has fucked your country, and in return, you get to exploit me as a tourist. I'm totally fine with that. Like, I'm not, do you know what I mean? It's like, you get annoyed as a white person going, oh, they're taking advantage of me. It's like, I'm sorry, what? They're taking advantage of you. Sorry, where is all your clothes made? That's what I thought. Yeah, exactly. Anyway. Oh, I'm in a good mood tonight, ladies and gentlemen. What else is going on? I think in order to avoid the touristy stuff, you have to live in the country. Yes and no. I think you can. I'll tell you a funny story about my wife and I avoiding the touristy stuff in Sicily 12 years ago, right? This is the typical white from a rich country mentality. We were like, oh, we want to go to Sicily, but we don't want to do the touristy stuff. So we found like an area that no tourists go to. And it was at the beginning of September 2012. And we get to the beach and we realize we are the whitest people on the beach. And there are no other foreigners on the beach. It is just Italians on the beach. Sicilians and Italians, because it was their last weekend of the holidays before la rentrée, the Italian rentrée, right? Before they all go back to work. And so even when you avoid the touristy stuff, the local people can still spot you from a mile off, even if you're European in another European country. My wife and I were the fattest, whitest people on the beach. And we were so awkward trying to set up our, what do you call those? Les transats, the beach chairs, the loungers with like the sun, the parasol, right? And setting up the, oh God, at some point, my wife laid back a little bit too hard on the sunbed and she fell backwards into the sand head first. Everyone was dying laughing. I was dying laughing. It was hilarious. And then literally 15 minutes later, the same thing happened to me. It was beautiful. So I think you can have... You can avoid the touristy stuff if you don't live there. But again, I will caveat that with if you're going to a country that is similar to yours, that's in a similar position. I don't think if you are, or a similar culture, right? I don't think if you're white European and you go to Japan, you can really avoid the touristy stuff. Unless you have a Japanese mate that's going to show you around the stuff. If you know somebody on the ground, that's the best solution. But if you're white European and you're going to Japan, like me and my wife did, we did the touristy stuff. It's difficult to not do the touristy stuff because you don't speak the language, A, you don't know the culture, 2, and 3, you stick out like a sore thumb. In the same way that Japanese people, when they come to France, that's why they have the Tokyo syndrome or the Japan syndrome. I think it's Tokyo. No, it can't be Tokyo syndrome. Paris, there's a syndrome where Japanese people have an image of what Paris is going to be like. They get off the plane, they take the RER from Charles de Gaulle into Gare du Nord. Already they're traumatized by that train trip, and they get off the train and they get to Gare du Nord. That's another trauma that they have. So then they all get sick and they have to have psychological centers for them. So I think if you come from the same type of culture, the same language, you can do the touristy stuff without living in the country, right? Where have I been that I've had Istanbul? I feel like but again, I had an authentic experience in Istanbul because one of my best friends is from there, or she used to be. She used to live there. And my wife and I, we went there with her, and she is Turkish, and she showed us the stuff that you wouldn't necessarily see if you weren't a tourist. So if you know somebody on the ground, I think it's possible. If you don't, if you're just going like, you know, as a couple or as a family, especially when you've got kids as well, that I didn't even add that into the equation. When you have a small child, you have to do the touristy stuff. You're not going to risk like the non-touristy, like if you got a 4-year-old, like they're going to want to do the touristy stuff. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, great conversation. I love this. Pokraj says you're spitting facts. Well, I'm happy that someone agrees with me because a lot of people don't. But that's fine. I don't care. We can disagree. We can agree to disagree. That's one of the things that, you know, as humans we're allowed to do. Unfortunately, the internet has made it very complicated to agree to disagree because everyone just goes mental. Right. Okay, all right. I'm just looking through some of the comments here. I noticed when I went to Greece, people, yeah, I noticed that when I went to Greece, people just knew I wasn't Greek by looking at me. Yeah. Just like when you're in Greece, you go, that person's French. You can see them from a mile off. The English, fucking the English. Oh, mate. You can spot English people a mile off when you're abroad. So, yeah. Oh. As a Chinese person living in the UK, if some Europeans go to Beijing to see the Great Wall, etc., you'll be 100% be scammed. Yeah. And I think that's all right. Because how much have we rinsed China? In terms of exploiting countries, I think the West have exploited that country a lot more than any other country. So it's kind of, it's not a fair trade, but it's kind of like you go, all right, cool, I'll get scammed. But as I said, like in Thailand, there was a couple of times where we were like, whoa, this is a bit more expensive than it should be because it's a kind of, but then it's like, all right, cool. We had a good time. It was fine. Like, and 10 euros more, fine. Let's just pay the 10 euros more and get scammed. And it you know, it helps feed that family or it helps whatever it is. Do you know what I mean? So, Adrian says, it's not just Japanese people. Paris syndrome happens to everyone. Yeah, it's kind of true. I can't wait for the Olympics. Oh, that's a good name for a little project called Paris syndrome. Hold on, let me fucking write that down on a post-it. Let me write that down on a post-it. I knew something would be useful for me during this live. Paris syndrome. Oh, is that not a great name for a little mini project during the Olympics where maybe I set the expectations for the foreigners coming for the Olympics. Hey, Paris isn't what you think it is. I don't want you to get Paris syndrome. Let me warn you about Gare du Nord. You should have studied sociology. What you're doing is what I studied in developmental sociology. Yeah, you know what? I think it's a mixture of being older, 37, you get to see the world. And luckily, I've had such good fortune in my life of traveling a lot. And I mean a lot, like for personally, but also for work. Like my old job at Apple, I traveled around the place. I had a more authentic experience traveling with Apple and with comedy than I do as a tourist. Because, when the first time I went to Shanghai with Apple, we're going to the Shanghai Apple offices. And granted, we're staying in a really nice hotel, but the local team from Shanghai, took us to some really nice restaurants, took us to a hot pot that was definitely not touristy. Like we were the only non-Chinese people in the hot pot. It was amazing. With comedy, it's the same thing. Like when I went to, where have I been to? Well, I was going to say Australia. But it doesn't matter. You go there, you've got people on the ground, local people that will show you some of the cool stuff to do. Like in Mauritius, we went to Mauritius. It was kind of a touristy experience, but also in Mauritius, I got to go to the local radio station, speak to the local people there, and it feels like a more authentic. It's still not an authentic experience because I'm there for 2 days, and for a very short period of time, like you get to see what the life is like. But going as a tourist, especially with a 4-year-old, it's kind of difficult. So yeah, it's just, and the thing is like, stuff, as you get older, you start seeing the world in a different way, but then you worry about talking about it because you're worried that, the younger generation who haven't lived through those certain things get annoyed at you for having, for having lived life and sharing your experiences, if that makes sense. Goodness me. Right. What time is it? It's 10. It's already 10:02. Okay. What else have we got? Anu, you can look 100% Chinese and still be scammed. Yeah, and that must be weird as well. Is if like one of my friends in Paris, she is Chinese origin, but she doesn't speak Mandarin or Cantonese. And so I don't even know if she's been to China. Her parents are Chinese. But if she were to go back there, people would immediately start talking to her in Chinese, in Mandarin, whatever. And she would be like, I don't, sorry, do you speak English? And so that must be a massive disconnect for certain people that look like they're from a specific culture or country. It must be the same thing of like somebody, well, I guess it's the same thing, but I was going to say it might be the same thing for somebody from an African country going to another African country, but I bet between them they can spot each other. Do you know what I mean? Just like in Europe, we can spot the Greeks. Well, the Greeks, no. You can definitely spot an Italian and a French and a German and a Northern European person, an English person. You can see them. You go, I bet you they're English. And lo and behold, Dave, mate, should we get some fucking pad thai? So I imagine for different races, I know that for Asian, I know that because I have a Korean friend who is like, yeah, you can definitely tell, like we can tell who's Korean, who's Vietnamese, who's Thai, who's Chinese and all that kind of stuff. But if you're Chinese born outside of China and you look fully Chinese to the Chinese and it must be weird. It must be like it's what it's like for me when I speak French. No, it's the opposite of what it's like for me when I speak French with a perfect French accent and the French people don't know I'm French and I go, I'm English. They're like, whoa, what the fuck? Same thing. Do we have some news of Manu? Manu, my light and sound guy. I mean, it's 10 p.m. I'm not going to call him now. But yeah, he's doing all right. He sent me some text today. I didn't even reply because I was busy in a meeting. But yeah, I think Manu's doing all right. His text message was, ça va les gars, on se programme un apéro, un de ces quatre, des bises. He wants an apéro. He wants to hang out for a drink, even though we hung out for a drink literally about 4 days before we left to Thailand. Anyway, yeah. He's doing great. I don't know what he's doing, but he's doing great. Misha Luna, when I'm in the Eurostar, I can spot who's British and who's French. Yeah, especially at 9 a.m. That is the giveaway. If you take one of the early morning Eurostars, you will spot the British because they will have cans of Heineken in their hands and the French will not. That's the first, before they even open their mouths. And even if you can't see them, if you're looking through the gap in the chairs and you just see the table and there's 2 Heinekens, you're like, they're clearly English. Why is it okay to start drinking at 9 a.m. just because you're on public transport? I love it. One thing that I did find in Thailand, which was cool, was a terrible translation. There were many, but I just picked one. So let's do, since we've got 10 minutes left, some terrible translations. For those of you who are new to the podcast, terrible translations is where you can send me by email some terrible translations that you find out, a photo, something like that. in the wild, a document, whatever it is, and we make fun of it because there are so many about. The email, oh God, because somebody asked in the comments a second ago, that you can send it to is, where's the thing? Terrible Translations, FTW, which was the old name of this podcast. Terrible Translations, FTW. At gmail.com, terrible translations, FTW at gmail.com, and you can send me those across and we can have a look. So let's start with my one, which was from Thailand, and it was involving one of these tours. There's an island called Chicken Island, which isn't the funny thing, but here we go. I can't even remember what the funny thing was in this. So you could do a 4-day... yeah, okay. So it's the tour where you go on a bunch of different islands, blah, blah, blah. Cool. And then Chicken Island, the description here says, Chicken Island, the island has got shape of rock, look like the chicken head for take photo and snorkel place. Enjoy colourful fishes and coral. And again, you cannot not read that in a Borat accent. The island has got the shape of rock, look like the head of chicken, look like the chicken head for take photo and snorkel place. What was weird is the rest of this was fine. Like if you look at Franang Cave, is most beautiful beaches. Is most beautiful beaches because there are views of limestone mountains and cliffs along with caves surrounded by white sand and clear sea water. See, that's pretty good. Poda Island, lovely white sandy beach. Enjoy your free time for sunbathing, relaxing, swimming, and lunchtime on the beach. That works. Tup Island and Mo Island, one of Unseen's Thailand. No, it's not. Everyone's been there. Is sea separate when low tide of the seawater connect by the white sand? Fucking hell. That's awful as well. But, you know, you understand what they're saying. I just thought it was funny where it's like, the island has got shape of rock, look like the chicken head for take photo. We didn't go to Chicken Island. Oh, there's Chicken Island. There's a photo of it. And does that look like it's a chicken head to take the photo? Anyway, terrible translation, ladies and gentlemen. Right, let's go down to Gio Trevi, who's in the first one. Salut Paul, je travaille au Bon Marché, which is not Bon Marché, et je viens d'assister à la réunion annuelle réservée au personnel. Voici un nouveau mot que je ne sais vraiment pas comment t'expliquer. Bonnes vacances. Oh, there's some internal Bon Marché stuff. Maybe we shouldn't be talking about this. Doesn't matter. Le clienteling. Oh, God. That is a mixture of corporate inventing of words, because at Apple we used to invent some pretty fucking like the word impactful is not a word, but we used to say it all the time. It has impact. It is not impactful. It has impact. Anyway, that's just English to English. When you're mixing languages, le clienteling, is that like le storytelling but with clients, or is that what is the clienteling? Oh my God, I love it. Romy Higgins. Hi, Paul. This is a sign on a flower shop in Cheshire. They didn't even Google Translate the name of their business. La Beau Fleur. Oh, God. Romy. La Beau Fleur. I mean, that's wrong on 3 levels, isn't it? Floral design by Rachel Pears. Translated by Rachel Pears. La Beau Fleur. First of all, fleur is plural, so it should be, well, it should be les belles fleurs ou la belle fleur. Fleur being feminine, so it should be, and they thought it was feminine. La beau fleur. Oh my God. Is there a play on words though? Hold on. La beau fleurs. Do you know what it might be? It might be a play on words with labo, as in laboratoire. Labo fleur. Am I looking too much into this? Am I being too generous? Labo fleur? Labo fleur, mate. Oi, where do you get your fucking bouquet from? It's fucking gorgeous. I got it from Labo fleur, mate. Do you know what I mean? Those flowers. Rachel, she's an absolute gem. It's too good. Oh, it's too good. I think I'm being generous with labo fleur. I don't think, because laboratory, labo, we don't say labo in English, we'd say laboratory. Anyway, good one. Oh, follow up to last email. Here we go. Just sent over a terrible translation. Read that one first, but saw this on the company's Google reviews and it made me chuckle. They must get so tired of having to say this. I keep driving past your shop and I really hope your flowers are better than your French. The name of your shop is hilarious. And may I tell you that it should say Les Belles Fleurs. I hope I haven't offended you. Thanks so much. Yes, we are aware. And we are delighted to confirm that our flowers are better than our French. Oh, somebody replied to them to go, you've got a great play on words. Labo fleur, as in the laboratory of flowers. Oh, Jesus. I also love the guy who wrote this, his name. Philippe Rouillon. Emmy. Hi. The translation of this French tea company is not exactly terrible, but it's fun to see how the name of this tea changes from something romantic to positive psychology. Saying black flavored tea instead of flavored black tea and putting red fruits in the list of ingredients is also very French. What do you mean? Hold on. Thé noir parfumé. Thé oui pour la vie. Oh, God. Already, if they've got a little slogan, thé oui pour la vie, put it in the bin. Black flavored tea. Yes to life. Oh, God. Oh, no. This is awful. Thé noir parfumé aux notes de fruits rouges et de rose. A black flavored tea. What is a black flavored tea? Flavored black tea with sweet notes of red fruits and roses. How do we say fruits rouges in French, in English? Is it not like forest fruits or something like that? Berries. Isn't it just berries? Black flavored tea. What's the flavor of your tea? It's black. What do you mean? It's just black flavored tea. Berries. Correct. Thank you, Michelina. Berries. Les fruits rouges. Berries. Ingrédient thé noir from China. See, there's another way that we've exploited China is by hard labor to make tea. Pétales de rose 10%, poivre noir, arôme naturel, fruits rouges, fraises framboises, morceaux de fraises, morceaux de framboises. Ingredients, black tea from China, rose petals, black pepper, natural flavors, red fruits, strawberry, raspberry. Fruits rouges, fraises et framboises. But hold on. All right, so if we're going with berries, fruits of the forest, berries, because technically strawberry and raspberry are berries. Strawberry, raspberry, blackberry. What distinguishes in French, les Français, fruits rouges et fraises et framboises? C'est quoi la différence entre fruits rouges et fraises et framboises? For me, strawberries and raspberries are red fruits because fucking they're red and they're fruits. And they're berries. There you go. Some interesting... Oh, this is from Fauchon as well. Oh, come on! Fauchon! How have you got your translation so bad? Come on, guys. Fucking hell. That's disappointing. I thought that was just going to be a random brand. Fauchon. Fauchon, mate. Oh, God. Okay, so people are saying that berries are the same thing. So somebody didn't know their Staffcom rule. Is that something to do with I don't know, 3 minutes to put in? I mean, all right. We're done with the teas. Thanks, Emmy. Caroline Gonzalez. Hi, Paul. Voilà 2 photos de biscuits trouvés dans un magasin aux États-Unis. Well, they tried their best. Passe une bonne soirée et merci pour ces super lives. Oh, thanks, Caroline. Right, with creamy filling. Light and creamy. La pâtisserie, crème de la lemon. Crème de la lemon. Crispy crepes. Oh. Good work, America. We haven't had many of these come from America, but that one is amazing. Crème de la lemon. Déjà, c'est citron vert. No, it's not. It's citron. Crème de citron. All right, so it should be crème de la lemon. Crispy crepes. What do we call those in French? Les crêpes dentelles. That's what we call them. Dentelle crepes, innit? With creamy filling. It's light and creamy. Creme de la lemon. Okay. What's the next one? Creme de la coconut. Okay, I see what they're doing here. La pâtisserie with creamy filling, light and creamy. Crispy crepes. Creme de la coconut. I mean, yeah. You just want to be like, bless them, don't you? From Ross. $2.49. To be fair, that's pretty cheap. Because the crêpe dentelle here, they cost way more than that. Although I don't know if this is an expensive brand or not. Can I get a crepe? You know how Australians and English people tend to pronounce things very similarly compared to Americans? One of the things that I never understood when I lived in Australia was why they said crepes. Because in English, we pronounce it like the French do. We say crepe, right? And Americans say crepes. It's like how Australians say data, and we say data, and Americans say data. Or do they say data? My data? My data? Anyway, the story with crepes that I found out was, if Australians pronounced it crepe, it sounds in their accent like the word crap. Yeah, g'day, can I get a crepe? It's ambiguous. So that's why they call it a crepe. As if it was spelt C-R-A-Y-P. Micheluna, crème de la coconut, omelette du fromage. Same vibe. I love it. All right. I think we've got one more. Thanks, Caroline. That was great. Hervé Songis. Kite and sailing. Hi, Paul. Nice to follow you every Monday. I was in Nantes for your spectacle. Thanks, mate. I appreciate you coming out to the shows. It was great. What do you think of the name of my new sailing school I just started? I named it Kite and Sailing. I know this is not good English, but can I say fuck off English people? I should name it Kiting and Sailing or Kite and Sail, but I don't care. Thank you for all, Hervé. And can you say my first name properly? I never met any English person able to say it the right way. Hervé? Hervé, mate. Hervé. His name is Hervé Songis. All right, Hervé Songis, how are you, son? Are you in the comments? Are you in the comments, Hervé Songis? Because you just sent that while we're watching it. Hervé. Like Pierre Hervé. No, it's Pierre Hermé. Hervé. Who else is called Hervé? The only other Hervé I've met is a guy who used to work at Canal Plus. He might still work at Canal Plus, who's the football commentator, Hervé Matou. Who's very nice, but that's it. I don't know any other Hervé. Kiting is not a verb, so kite is fine. Yeah, I feel like kite and sailing is fine. Kiting is not a verb, yeah. Kite sailing. Kite and sailing. Oh, Hervé. However, Hervé, what do you mean by kite and sailing? Because here's my theory, and this is one of the Anglicisms that I would get angry about if I were to do the Anglicism videos again, is that what you French people called kite is what we call kite surfing. You can't just have kite, you need the surfing, because a kite, for us, in English, is un cerf-volant. I don't know why the deer is flying, but you call it a flying deer. Un cerf-volant is what we call a kite. But I think, since you have a sailing thing, you've called it kite and sailing because kite meaning kite surfing. It should be kite surfing and sailing. Hervé. There he is! Hervé Songis is in the house! I think you should be calling it kite surfing and sailing. But, because for me, kite and sailing is cerf-volant et sailing. What is sailing in French? Quand tu... I don't know what sailing is. Paul, he's already told you to fuck off in advance. I know. And he is right to. But Hervé, kite surfing is the sport that we have. But I need to know the answer. Because if you're talking about kiting, as in holding a kite, un cerf-volant, like the kids do with the two strings, but not surfing, you need to have the surfing in there. You know, what was the other English thing? Faire du... Jesus Christ, it's starting to piss it down with rain. Naviguer à la voile. Okay. Sailing. Okay. People have got Mary Poppins. Adam Crosby's in the house. Let's go fly a kite. Mary Poppins would be proud. R.I.P. the suffragette on Mary Poppins. I don't have the reference. I've never watched Mary Poppins. Anyway, I think it sounds fine. Kite and sailing sounds cool. But if I come to your business, Hervé, and I'm not flying a kite on the ground, I'm disappointed. If I'm kite sailing, maybe it's a good surprise. Maybe I go, oh, kite and sailing, amazing. I get to sail a boat while holding a kite in my hand. While flying a kite. You don't hold a kite, you fly a kite, right? But then if you get me on a board, and that's it, what is it? It's there's another sport in French where you just have the first bit. Le basket. The basket doesn't make sense. It's le basketball, right? Basically every sport. Le hand, the hand. Are you going to play the hand? Hey, handball. You can't just say le hand, right? It's because you haven't got time, French people. You haven't got time. You're too busy planning the next strike. So you need to be more concise with the words that you're using, which is why you cut everything down, right? You can't be asked saying, I'm going to the ophthalmologist. L'ophtalmologue. No, je vais à l'ophtalmo. You ain't got time. You're planning the next strike. Do you know what I mean? Le foot, exactly. I still haven't found the sport that I'm looking for, the one that drives me crazy, though. It's not that. It's not le foot, le hand. Doesn't matter. Whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for contributing. Oh, let's do one from Carole D, the last one, who's just sent it through now. Bonsoir, Paul. Ils choisissent bien leur nom de restaurant à Tokyo. Let's finish on this one. What? Chat-raisé? Oh, fucking hell! That's almost chat rasé, which would be shaved vagina. Chat rasé. I would love if anyone speaks Japanese to give me the translation of that underneath. And I think, I don't know, we do have I've forgotten his name, who's often on the lives. What's his name? Who's from Japan. But I don't know if he's actually from Japan. I think he is. What does that say in Japanese? Chat-raisé. What is this? Is this a bakery? I don't even know what this is. Chateaubriand meets Rézé. I mean, maybe. I don't know what Rézé is. Anyway, yeah. Almost. Shout Rézé. What's his name? Forgotten his name. Forgotten his name. I'm so shit with names. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Good work, Japan. Thanks very much. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a cake shop. Okay, thanks very much. Mathilde, is a Japanese teacher. There we go. Hold on. Why am I still... There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, well, listen to me. Thanks so much for joining me on this ranting of a of a live. It's been fun. Patreon, I will be hanging around with you guys for another little while. If you don't support me on Patreon, you can. Patreon.com/Paul Taylor helps finance all of the stuff that I'm not doing right now, like not performing and not making any more videos. But it helps finance those projects that will eventually happen at some point. Patreon, I'll see you in a couple of minutes to carry on this wonderful discussion and let you know what's going on. The rest of you, thank you so much for being here today. It was fun. Next week, what's happening next week? Is something? Yeah, I'll be here next week. Am I going to be here next week? Oh, I'll be here next week. Yeah, next Monday, 9 p.m. And I feel like I'm missing something. I can't remember, but it doesn't matter. If I miss it, I'll tell you about it next week. All right, that's it, everyone. Thanks so much for being here. Patreon, see you in a bit. Everyone else, see you next week. Bisous, bye.